to the authorities. There have also been instances where those brave enough to report are targeted with derogatory comments on social media platforms and at the police station. The upsurge in rape cases has continued to attract protests from all quarters. Some residents are of the opinion that measures put in place by both the federal and state governments to tackle issues on rape in the country have not really helped to curb the menace.
For a long time, we don't have people coming out saying that they have been raped or they have been abused due to stigmatization. And I think right now, I would say the world is waking up to a lot of realities that this thing needs to come out to the open and people need to fight it.
They said an idle man is a devil's workshop.
You know, if you go to Yabadia, that's along the road there, you see that there's a lot of young men sleeping there. And in the evening, they turn to be what? Vagabonds in the state. That's what I mean. So government has, I feel that government has failed in their own protective measure.
Gender activists argue that the reason the menace of rape has not been effectively curtailed over the years is not the absence of relevant laws to bring culprits to book, but the weakness in its implementation.
No matter the reason they are giving, it can never be justified. It's a crime, and everyone should join hands together to make sure that it's stamped out of our society.
Wife of Lagos State Governor Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu charged chairmen of the 20 local governments and 37 local council development areas in the state to ensure that their domains are rape-free.
Real men don't rape. Real men don't rape. Real men don't rape.
President Muhammadu Buhari recently reiterated his government's commitment to fighting gender-based violence and assured citizens that the police were working to ensure justice in recent cases. In Lagos, Nosa, Osula, Nta News.
And now to COVID-19 update. Another 452 cases of COVID-19 have been recorded in 14 states of the Federation, including the FCT. The breakdown shows that Lagos has 209, Oyo 67, Delta 37, Ogun 36, FCT 22, Abia 20, Enugu 16, Bauchi 15, Kaduna 8, Ondo 8, Osun 7, Imo and Benue have 3 each, while Borno has 1 case. The total confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the country as at 23rd June 2020 is 21,371, while 7,338 patients have so far been discharged after recovery, while 533 fatalities have been recorded. Still on COVID-19, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, is facilitating the release of 100 million naira from the World Bank to strengthen public health infrastructure and capacity across the 36 states of the Federation as well as the FCT. Abubakar Usman reports.
The facility is geared towards achieving adequate health coverage under the Regional Disease Surveillance System Enhancement Project and Nigerian COVID-19 Preparedness and Response Project. The grant is to support the funding of emergency operation centers, and so far the bank is reviewing state status, where 34 states are on study, while 4 states have been cleared. Out of the $100 million grant, 100 million naira will be disbursed to each state of the Federation as well as the Federal Capital Territory to address ailing health facilities and strengthen support for frontline health workers.
We have come to that realization that we have to invest in our health security architecture. And we can't do that just from Abuja. We have to do that at the state and even at the local government level.
But we also appreciate that this additional funding is a big responsibility. Please don't see us as a banker, see us as a partner.
We also want to make sure that we build our own institutions in a manner that we can respond without having to wait till when NCDC comes down to us.
Memorandum of understanding was signed to forge grant agreement between parties and explore better ways of improving the health sector. The collaboration between the World Bank, Nigerian Center for Disease Control, as well as the Nigerian Governors Forum is key in driving critical components of the health sector, as well as improving the capacity of health personnel in the front line, as the quest to defeat the coronavirus pandemic remains central in the heart of the nation. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, Nta2 News.
While stretching its tentacles to prevent coronavirus-related emergencies, the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, has its eyes on safety of personnel of government agencies and parastatals. This informed the fumigation of the entire premises of the Nigerian Television Authority, Nta2 Lagos. Olumide Eguntola reports.
The disinfection started right from the main entrance of the network center to the newsroom, editing room, all the sensitive operational points, and the administrative block. All the areas where workers can carelessly and ignorantly spread the virus were also touched.
What they've done is okay, as a welcome development.
It will help boost the health of workers in this place, and we appreciate.
We are really after our welfare, and I give kudos to LASEMA too for them coming around to come and fumigate this place.
Zonal Director, Nta2 Lagos Network Center, Lawa Ahmed, commended the initiative of LASEMA management and its concern for the general well-being of the workers. He urged members of the public to take responsibility for their safety by obeying the set rules targeted at preventing community spread.
LASEMA is one of the most active state agencies in Lagos. So we remain very thankful to them, and we are calling on such other organizations to render support to agencies and organizations of government like us that render public service.
Lagos State Emergency Management Agency is an umbrella body for the coordination of relevant agencies connected with prevention and management of disasters in the state. In Lagos, Olumide Eguntola, Nta2 News.
As the world continues to grapple with the COVID-19 pandemic, journalists who are among the frontliners have not rested on their oars, putting their lives at risk to break the news and bring their audiences up to speed with happenings, including various perspectives on issues bordering on COVID-19. The courage and resilience of these frontliners since the pandemic was declared requires not only commendation, but other forms of motivation such as insurance and improved take-home pay. To further dissect these issues and more is the editor Guardian newspaper, Marcel Mbamalu. Hello, Marcel. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, and thank you once again for having me, Amaka.
Okay, so what is the new normal for practicing journalists in COVID-19 era?
Hello?
What is the new normal for practicing journalists in COVID-19 era?
Okay, yeah, the new normal. First and foremost, let me correct the question. I'm the news editor of the Guardian, not the editor. Okay, and back to your question about the new normal for practicing journalists today. Of course, it's the three key words: caution, caution, and caution. You really have to be cautious. Everything has to be done virtually now. In fact, interviews are done virtually. Conferences, Zoom conferences, everything is virtual, online now, because you have to be alive, first and foremost, to help people to be alive.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Speak on.
So based on that, I think that journalists right now, and exactly that's what we're doing here, at the Guardian. We are very careful. The management provides every journalist with a nose mask. But part on weekly basis, we have our nose masks. Enough nose masks to go around, everybody to be careful. And then your workplace, sanitary, the environment, the workplace has to be very, very sanitized, almost on daily basis. You know, you normally, but the very advice I want to give is that one can actually, if you have no reason going to the office, be able to work from your home if you can. But if you are in the newsroom, you must keep the rules. You must clean your workstation every day. You work as if, you know, there's nothing else to do but to keep alive. Then wash your hands regularly, the normal SCDC instruction to wash your hands regularly. You must, you know, interviews done, like I said before, are done, you know, virtually. Person-to-person interviews scheduled, have to be very careful. You have to keep yourself at least 6 meters apart from your interviewee. If you must meet physically, that's physical distancing has to be observed. Like I said before, you have to also clean all the equipment that you use, your gadgets, your workstation, everything must be clean and sanitized using alcohol, that's the alcohol sanitizers. And then opt for places with low foot traffic, you know, as a journalist. You know, and then, like I said before, you wear your surgical mask when interviewing random people on the streets, and then discard it immediately after use. For now, I think that's basically what every journalist should, you know, observe.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on the 7 journalists that died recently across the country?
Well, my thoughts, that's a very tricky question. Yeah, the 7 journalists that died, I'm not sure all of them were, okay, they are related, COVID-19 related, but the point is that we as journalists are on the front line of duty. We are exposed. Like I said before, we just have to be careful. I'm not saying that those that died are not, they were not careful. They were, but just like many health workers are dead, I think about 40 died in one day. The other day, about 70 died. So it's the risk, the hazards. That's why we keep saying we need to be very careful. At some point, you know, you could get to a stage where you think that you begin to think that, oh, it doesn't exist because it's not you. It can't be me. But it could be you. Just like the World Health Organization has actually told us that we could live with, begin to get used to living with COVID-19 because it's not going to just go away like HIV. So I think that those that died did not die because they were careless. It's just one of those hazards of the profession. But my advice is that we need to be very careful. We need to continue to be careful. We need to observe those social distancing rules. We need to take the environment, just cleanliness and sanitize whatever we use. We need to be very careful about those things. I think that's my advice for now.
Okay, knowing that journalists put their lives on the front line, shouldn't there be palliatives for journalists?
Yes, in fact, I'm one of those who actually, you know, believe that there should be palliatives for journalists. In fact, if you are giving palliatives if you are making intervention funds available for aviation sector, making intervention funds available for the banking or for other sectors, and for those on the front line, like the health workers, I am of the opinion that journalists themselves, not just journalists, media organizations, there should be a way of intervention, not just by government, but all these donors, international agencies that invest in development, issues of development. I think they should begin now to that journalism, the media, invest those interventions in the media to help them help society, to help them help governments, because the essence of the media, what we do is to help development. We help government to enjoy development by our work, by our disposition. So I think that it's high time donor agencies and those international interventionists begin to look the way of the media, invest those funds in the media so that we will have very, very credible reporting that will help development across not just the country, but across the continent.
Okay, so how feasible is the insurance cover in place for journalists?
Yes, of course, if that's part of the palliatives you're talking about, because actually I don't see insurance as a palliative. Insurance should be a way of life for the media. Insurance, every journalist should have an insurance cover, and I'm sure most journalists, some journalists in Nigeria or some media organizations in Nigeria already have that. So I think it shouldn't just be a knee-jerk reaction or action. It should be something that should be an integral part of our practice, because we are exposed, we are on the front line, but we're not just COVID-19 alone. We've always been on the front line. When there is war, drugs are there. When there is famine, when there are issues, people are up to date. Journalists are in the Northeast that are covering the Boko Haram insurgency. So I think that insurance is a must. It's the number one thing that should be in place for journalists. So how much more what we're talking about COVID-19 now? So this is the time when media organizations who are not yet thinking in that direction should think about that. So insurance cover for journalists should be top of the agenda. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Marcel, for your contributions on the news at this hour.
Thank you, Amaka. I'm very grateful for having me.
Okay. You're still watching Nta2 News. We'll pause here for a break. Don't go away.
Hey, beautiful. Your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight.
Now reading page 3.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Ntel 4G.
Ntel. Live more.
Welcome back. Our next report is focusing on the gains, special interventions and mechanisms adopted in fighting drug abuse in Lagos. Abolade Salami reports.
Illicit drugs among Nigerians, especially youths, seems to be on the increase, despite statutory measures put in place by the federal government and the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, to stem the indiscriminate use and abuse of drugs. Information gathered from the NDLEA show that more than 14 million Nigerians are engaged in drug abuse using tramadol, cannabis sativa, popularly called India hemp, codeine, heroin, and other illicit drugs. To curtail the trend, NDLEA introduced various means to enlighten the public on the need to stay away from narcotics, with a view to reducing the number of more than 14 million Nigerians who abuse drugs. In Lagos State, the command is fighting hard and manning the entry points into the state's market, a step that led to the arrest of over 400 persons in 2019, caught with over 13,616.215 kilograms of hard drugs and conviction of more than 28 culprits.
3rd of January 2020, this command destroyed over 100 tons of drugs. It was a big news. So the command is making tremendous effort to ensure that this distribution will be arrested minimum. But we are seeking the collaboration and assistance of other relevant stakeholders so that our effort will be comprehensive.
At the airport, the federal government has deployed more sophisticated scanner machines to prevent exportation and importation of illegal substances. This has significantly aided smooth operations.
Then tramadol lately has gone down, but we used to have serious seizures of tramadol through the airport. I know there was a single seizure of almost about 5 tons. I think that year we had, at the end of the year, we had seizures of up to I think about 6 tons, that's about 6,000 kilograms in a year. What I would call is so much. But I think there is better regulation, and I think it has gone down a little bit.
Many are of the opinion that while government is providing needed logistics to control the abuse of drugs, parents must pay close attention to their wards and continually educate them on the dangers associated with drug abuse and its attendant consequences, especially on their future. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, Nta News.
And now to the foreign scene. A powerful earthquake hits Mexico as an activist vandalizes a French statesman statue outside the country's parliament. These and more on our Global Tidbits segment.
At least 6 persons have died after a deadly earthquake shook buildings, causing panic in Mexican states. According to reports, the earthquake's epicenter is said to have been located in the state of Oaxaca in Mexico. Reports also say the massive earthquake affected buildings in Mexico City, which were 700 kilometers away from the epicenter. But the government's alert system worked well, giving residents time to get outdoors. The earthquake comes less than 3 years after an earthquake left hundreds dead and thousands homeless in Mexico City. Meanwhile, an activist has vandalized a French statesman's statue outside the country's parliament, the National Assembly. According to report, the activist was caught spraying the statue of Jean-Baptiste Colbert with red paint. He sprayed the words "State Negrophobia" at the base of the monument before he was detained by the police. The French government spokeswoman criticized the action, saying people should consider the historical facts as they unfolded. Jean-Baptiste Colbert helped write the Black Code in the 17th century, which defined slavery and race in France's colonial empire. On COVID-19, the tennis world #1, Novak Djokovic, has been tested positive after hosting a tennis tournament. According to reports, Djokovic and his fellow players have all been tested positive for coronavirus after taking part in the Easter European event. Reports add that the rules in Serbia have been relaxed, and Djokovic says he acted within those new rules. He later went ahead to post an apology on Instagram after so many high-profile stars tested positive, saying, "I am so deeply sorry our tournament has caused harm."
Entertainment news is next.
Hello, it's good to have you join us on Entertainment News. Legendary Nigerian musician Innocent Two-Face Idibia has been appointed as the new United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR Regional Ambassador. The singer took to his Instagram page to announce his appointment. Two-Face says the appointment will deepen his commitment to supporting the efforts of UNHCR, commending the donors and supporters of the cause to help displaced persons around the world. Meanwhile, Nigerian music star Dapo Oyebanjo, also known as D'banj, says he is innocent until proven guilty. D'banj has been accused of rape by a young lady. The music star denied the accusation, asking the lady for a public apology of 100 million naira compensation. And on the foreign scene, popular American producer, philanthropist, and writer Steve Bing has committed suicide. Report has it that the Hollywood star died after jumping from the 27th floor of his apartment building in Los Angeles Century City neighborhood. It was also learned that the producer was suffering from depression due to lack of human contact during quarantine. Bing, who founded Shangri-La Entertainment, pursued a career in Hollywood and in 2000 became the executive producer of the Sylvester Stallone film Get Carter. In 2003, Bing co-wrote the action comedy Kangaroo Jack, Missing in Action. Bing has several other works to his credit. May his soul rest in peace. Amen. And that does it from our entertainment desk. Thanks for watching. I am Annie Daniels.
And now to sports update.
The Nigerian Olympic Committee, NOC, joined the rest of their counterparts globally to celebrate this year's Olympic Day on a low key, with emphasis on keeping safe and obeying all COVID-19 regulations. They encouraged Nigerians to join hands in the fight against coronavirus. And in the Nigeria Professional Football League, 17 clubs have voted in favor of ending the 2019-2020 suspended league rather than resuming to complete it at a later date. The decision of the club is based on the increasing number of confirmed cases of coronavirus in Nigeria. The resolutions, which include adoption of the points per game system in choosing Nigeria's representative in next season CAF club competitions is expected to be ratified by the Nigeria Football Federation. From the international female football scene, the Nigeria women's national team, the Super Falcons home kit, have been voted the best jersey of the FIFA Women's World Cup held last year. The kit polled 50% of 2,348 total vote cast, ahead of Australia and England in the second and third position, respectively. With sports updates, Olumide Guntola, Nta2 News.
And that ends it on the news at this hour. Thanks for watching. Continue to stay safe. I am Amaka Poole.